Turn the radio off right now and listen to The Chris Miles Show.
Check your resources.
Welcome to the Chris Miles Show.
What's going on, everybody? I hope all is well. We are truly blessed to be here today. The Most High have given us another day on this side of the highway. I am sitting here with the man behind the plan. You hear him, but you never see him, Mr. Producer. Also, I got my security in here with me today, just in case something pop off. Our co-host, Dr. Katrinka Reeves, will not be here. She had a family matter, so she's in our thoughts and prayers. So she will pick back up with us next week, most high willing. Mr. Producer, today is Sunday, June 25th. We're blessed to be here. Before I bring you back in, let me just do this. For everybody out there on social media, okay, you can find us on TikTok @ I'm Chris Miles, Instagram @ I'm Chris Miles, Twitter @ I'm Chris Miles, Facebook @ I'm Chris Miles. Now, for everybody out there, I need everybody out there to actually share this link. So if you are coming in and you're watching the Chris Miles Show, share the link on your page. Also, I need everybody out there that's actually hearing my voice to go to our YouTube page. It's simply entitled The Chris Miles Show. Once again, it's entitled The Chris Miles Show. I need you to subscribe, like, and follow. Also, we are exclusively on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you receive your podcasts. Mr. Producer, what's going on today, brother?
Not much, man. It's a beautiful Sunday. Blessed to be here. Just trying
Most
to have
definitely.
a good show, man.
Most definitely.
I just like to let everybody know, everybody's watching. The YouTube, the road to 5,000. We getting some good traffic. We getting some new subscribers every day. Getting good views. So, things are looking up. So you guys, y'all keep on sharing, liking, participating, subscribing to that YouTube channel so we can start the giveaways. But yeah, we're gonna have a good show. Hope y'all enjoy it.
Somebody poked a bear back here a little while ago, right? That really kind of pissed off me and Mr. Producer. They initially said that they said that you all could not do this consistently. Ever since that moment in time, we have been here faithfully every Sunday doing this show, okay? So let me just say this. I want to send out a couple of shout-outs. It's something that we haven't been doing, but I want to send a shout-out to Mr. Ray Moore, who had some surgery on his eye. I want to send out a shout-out to David White, who we've used to do our sports content. As I said, I got my security here, my nephew here with me. I love him to death, man. He has been my transportation through the process of, trying to heal, get back to the road. I'm on the road to recovery, but he's been the person when I got to go somewhere, I got something to do business-wise. I call him, man. This dude is relentless. Brother Shakeem Nazari is here with me. and he'll fuck somebody up about me too. So, that's the whole thing. But, I'm listen, people, I'm blessed, man. We are trying to provide entertainment as well as educate people in the process. Is there anybody else we need to give? We did acknowledge Dr. Reeves. She, like I said, she had a family matter. We really appreciate her being a part of this program, man. Like I said, we're trying to do some different things. We often say we don't do a podcast, we do a showcast. And we try to incorporate various entities of subject matter in on it for the simple fact that what we are actually dealing with are so many topics and things that are going on. It's like things are happening every week. Something is going on, right? So in the process of these things going on, what we're doing is we're just trying to keep everybody abreast to those issues. But Mr. Producer, you got anybody you want to shout out before we get into this show today, my man?
No, man, you got everybody.
Okay, all right. Well, let's rock and roll, people. We're here. We are the title of this. What did we title the thing this week?
It's gonna be mostly about affirmative action.
Okay, right. This is something that everybody is not aware of, but you will be after today. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we will come right back at you. All right? Everybody stay where you are. We're coming right back after this commercial break.
For the Big KD. Don't miss Avail Hollywood, J1, Kenny Wayne, Vic Allen, Magic One, and many more at the Crampton Bowl Multiplex in Montgomery. Be there. Big KD presents their 29th radio anniversary blues show, Saturday, July 29th at the Crampton Bowl Multiplex, featuring Avail Hollywood.
Is you 25 and
J1,
I got this record.
Kenny Wayne,
you're my angel?
Vic Allen,
So beautiful.
Magic One,
Baby, you're the baddest.
and introducing Q.
You is a fool.
Plus, Funky Country, Miss Poochie, and Portia P. Doors open at 6 p.m., showtime 7. General admission tickets are only $45. Reserved seating is $50. There are only a limited number of advance tickets available. Get your tickets at all the usual ticket outlets. Saturday, July 29th, it's about to go down. It's the 29th Radio Anniversary Blues Show for the Big KD. Don't miss Avail Hollywood, J1, Kenny Wayne, Vic Allen, Magic One, and many more at the Crampton Bowl Multiplex in Montgomery. Be there.
All right.
We're back. We are back. So yeah, last week we were intending to address this matter about affirmative action. Okay? So we're going to address it this week. Some of you may know, let him answer it. Some of you may know that what's in the Supreme Court right now is the topic and the issue of affirmative action. Now, affirmative action has been the conduit to be the balancer for all of the mishaps of the things that's not necessarily right pertaining to a matter of shit being balanced. Like, they basically call affirmative action a quota program, right? I think everybody knows and understands the history of what black people or minorities have gone through in this country. During the 1964 Civil Rights Act and things that was going on, Johnson and the Democratic Party basically tried to come with something that was a balancer. So affirmative action, a lot of other things through King and some of the other people they got out here say, well, you know, we got to have these measures in place because, you know, we're not going to be treated right. Now what's going on is affirmative action is something that's on the chopping block. Now, it's like I said, it is something that is in the Supreme Court. A lot of people think because Donald Trump stacked the Supreme Court with ultra-conservative individuals on there that the Supreme Court is going to overturn it, which could very well happen. And one of the reasons why it might happen is because you have people today, such as this woman that's on there by the name of Renu Mukherjee. Okay? She is East Indian, Hindu, okay? And you also have this Asian guy, or you have people, let me just go back. You have people who's considered people of color or minority groups in America who's pushing this, that they cannot get into certain colleges because of affirmative action. But this is what they don't tell you about affirmative action. The biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action are white women. Like, you can go Google who are the biggest beneficiaries to affirmative action, and you're going to find out it's not black people. It's white women. And this is information that people don't know. But whenever there needs to be a point that is made or illustrated, then it's against us.
They said Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas.
He benefited from.
Yes, he did.
Affirmative action.
And so did the Judge Sotomayor, who's Hispanic.
And it's crazy because both of them, now they're against it.
Exactly. Yeah. I think Sotomayor is for it, but Clarence Thomas is against it. But shit, he's been against everything that has been for black folks. He's against it. Man. So this is what we're dealing with. But what I'm saying is the reason that it will be overturned, that I think, is because you have another block, being the Asian community, that's against it. And as I was telling Dr. Reeves earlier, my co-host, this is what I think should happen. Like, we can't win. Like, there are so many components out here that we have to battle. Like, the very people who are pushing to overturn affirmative action got a goddamn bill of protection. They got the bill. When did this bill come into last year? I think it was. No, it was it last year?
I want to say. I think it was last year. It was around the time I know everybody. You know, a lot of them. A lot of them Asian women was getting jumped on.
Right. Well, they were getting some white kid over there, New York, and then in Atlanta. Right.
Yeah.
So they got a bill of protection from the federal government. Okay. They got a bill. They also are able to go out and to get financing for businesses that we're not able to get. We have a show coming up that's going to be called The Hindus and Don'ts. Yeah, it's coming. Because that's what we're going to do on the Chris Miles Show. We're going to expose a lot of things that you all don't know. Yeah, we're going to bring this information out. But back to the topic of affirmative action, these very people who set up stores in our communities and make money off of us. Like, wherever you go in the United States, you're going to find people of Indian descent, Koreans, or of Asian descent running stores in the black community. We just had a situation where an Asian guy killed a little black kid that he thought was stealing water, a bottled water out of his store. The kid ran out, didn't have any water. They shot the kid in his back. They're selling our kids bad candy. They're selling our women wigs and weave and all of this other bullshit. And now they go out here to say, well, we can't get into school because of black people. So this is the fix. Let me give you the fix. The fix is this. The fix is how we fix the problem is we don't trade with these people of Asian descent. That's right. You got a problem with something that was put as a measure of a balancer to make sure black people get billed. And this is why I have problems with Martin Luther King. Because Martin Luther King made black people put down the essence of our community to join theirs. And we've been getting fucked over since then. Like, we have no stores in our community. And the other part of that is this, is that in whatever city you live in, the federal government ran freeways through the black community to cut off commerce so we would not do business and trade with each other. The federal government did this. And it allowed these people of Indian descent, the same people, or the Asian community to come in and set stores up in our community to further disenfranchise, break down, and take finances and resources out of our community. And the other part of that shit was Martin Luther King told us not to do business and trade with each other, but guess what? Go out here and support these people who fuck over us in our own goddamn communities. And to make matters worse, they go carry the issue to the Supreme Court, and now this matter is in the Supreme Court to strip and to do away with affirmative action. So I say, okay, cool. A couple of things need to happen. We have what's called HBCUs. Black kids, if you can't get in their schools, go to your own schools. That's the fix. Don't do business with them. Don't do trade with them. And this is, I tell people all the time, you can learn a lot from the animal kingdom. The goddamn cheetahs don't eat with the lions, do they, Mr. Producer?
No.
When you see a cheetah and a lion, they're going to fight in the jungle. Why? Because they realize there's a difference. The lions eat amongst the lions. The cheetahs eat amongst the cheetahs. The leopards eat amongst the leopards. The panthers eat amongst the panthers. That is the camaraderie that they have. What's our goddamn problem? We are running. I'm getting a feedback. They are running. They are coming in our community. They're taking the financial resources out, and they are running to the Supreme Court to say, you know what? Well, we can't get in these schools because you have this quota program that is keeping us out. So you can't win. You got that video ready, Mr. Producer? This to show you this is why the Chris Miles Show exists. This is Fox News, and I think I say this all the time, every day, for all of you all out there that's listening to my voice. Fox News is a conduit for hate against people of color. I want you all to listen at this clip. Come on with it, Mr. Producer.
Is affirmative action on the chopping block? The Supreme Court could finally abolish the race-based practice that's been screwing over high-achieving Asian American students for decades. John Wang is one of the people suing and claims that affirmative action is to blame for his recent rejection from top-tier colleges and universities, despite his near-perfect SAT scores. John Wang now telling his story to Laura Ingraham in a new Fox Nation special.
The top-tier schools I applied to were MIT, Caltech, Princeton, Harvard, Carnegie Mellon, and UC Berkeley. Guidance counselors, they all told me that it's like tougher to get in, like especially as an Asian American. I just took it as gospel. I had a 20% chance of gaining admission to Harvard as an Asian American, and then a 95% chance as an African American.
So where does affirmative action stand right now in the court?
Affirmative action is still the law of the land, okay? The problem is that we now have a world of equity where there's no real equality. And what he was saying is he's got a 20% chance of getting into Harvard. If you're African American with those same numbers, you've got a 95% chance of getting in. I mean, the scales are so tipped against the qualified people in terms of, you know, what are we doing? We're trying to make up for whatever happened in the past. Get over it and start all over again. You're taking away the incentive of people.
If you just did it by scores, only scores, would you have, what, a majority of Asian undergraduate people in Harvard?
Can I just jump in? Because that's what Harvard did. They call it a fake. That if they were to do that, 43% of their student body would be Asian Americans. And they deny that. That's one of the key pieces of evidence in this case that has worked its way up through the Supreme Court. I think that this Supreme Court, I think, is going to do away with this. Unfortunately for students everywhere, I think that the schools are going to find some sneaky way to get around it. They'll call it something else. They'll say that they're looking at other things. However, I think these students are going to set a precedent that's not only for colleges, but think about that school down, Thomas Jefferson High School down in Virginia. One of the top schools. This is also an issue for Asian Americans at that school. And those parents have banded together and said, we are not going to allow this. What I think will be very interesting when the Supreme Court decides this, it will happen first at universities, I think then to the private schools, and then what happens in corporate America. Because it could be a real effect all the way down.
Mr. Greg Gutfeld.
God, he's such a wang. Yo, you know, the guy got a 1590 and you should have taken it again. 1600, buddy. That's what I got. No, actually, I'm kidding. The reality is this guy is obviously very smart, and he might be too smart for college. You know, get a job at SpaceX. Don't waste your time.
Go on.
It's obvious when you develop quotas for some people, others are going to get elbowed out. And in this day and age, Asians are not getting a fair piece of the pie anymore because the pie is finite. It's kind of interesting that, you know, there's this, we all talk about how cultures are different. And you better not culturally appropriate. But then we apply the prism of equity on cultures, which are impossible because they're different. Like every culture.
So,
man,
what you want to say, Mr. Producer? Because I'm finna go in, man.
I'm just saying, like, man, I'm saying, like, our people built this country. We ain't get nothing. I'm saying we ain't get nothing. We just starting. I mean, not even. I don't know. But I'm just saying we ain't. Everybody complain about the little stuff that you know.
Yeah, we do have. But hold on. Let me just say this.
We got crumbs. These folk got whole cakes. We got crumbs, and they want to take our crumbs.
Listen,
man.
This is the thing, right?
I'm saying them people. They can go back. I'm just saying they can go back.
They got dual citizenship, right. We can't go nowhere.
Their country, and they can still be whatever. They can, you know.
Okay, so this becomes the issue here, right? I want you to think about something. Let's just take the sports, right? Let's just hypothetically, let's talk about the University of Michigan. Because remember, they did away with affirmative. That it doesn't exist there, right? I want you all to think about those black athletes that come from abject poverty, dire straight areas, poverty stricken. Think about how these universities, if it's Georgia, the University of Georgia, if it's Alabama, think about those kids that go there that bring in billions. We ain't talking about millions, we're talking about billions of dollars. It's the same shit that's going on in the state of Florida right now. Ron DeSantis went down there, said that he wanted to get all of the immigrants out. I want them out of the state of Florida. This stupid motherfucker and went down there and came up with a goddamn bill, and it ran all the people that they need to facilitate the restaurants, farming, construction out of it. They say fuck Florida. We ain't doing that now. Now the same people that voted for the dumb shit are saying, well, the bill actually didn't intend or mean to do that. And this person is running for the president of the United States. So let's pivot to where we are now on affirmative action. So at some point, people of color, you should wake up and realize that everything is against you. Like when you look at the inventions that this country and the world has benefited off of, we did it. We gave the world everything. All of the music that you listen to came out of the hardship of what we've gone through. And like Mr. Producer said, we can't even have the fucking crumbs. And what makes it crumbs is because affirmative action, who was initially set up for us, white women benefit off of it. This is the shit that we're dealing with. But you'll get some asshole out there say, oh, well, you racist. I don't have the power to sign policies or legislation against you to fuck over you to the point where you can't survive. But you do. You have the ability to go to the goddamn Supreme Court and to fuck over something, as Mr. Producer called it, crumbs, to be the balancer for black people to get a piece of the pie based upon something that we need. This is wrong on all levels. And what really complicates matters is these same people who want to do away with affirmative action, they got stores in the black community. Like if you go to any corner store in New York, I've been all over the United States, and so have Mr. Producer. Whatever community you live in the United States, if you are black or brown, Asian people have stores that set up in your community. And it's sad. It's really sad. It's distasteful. And they run to the Supreme Court. Oh, well, I can't get into Harvard. I can't get into Yale because you have a quota program now. And I simply say this. We have our own schools to go to. We have not learned, and like I said, I was in a deep conversation with my co-host earlier, and I was talking about Black Wall Street. Do you all know, black people, once upon a time, we had Black Wall Street and all these other, because we had to do commerce with each other, but we had these conduits in the black community where, guess what? There wasn't no crime. If I got out of line, Mr. Producer's mom and dad beat my ass. And you know what? They sent me home to my mom and dad, where my mom and dad beat my ass again. We had those kind of communities. If my parents were janitors, they lived right next door to Mr. Producer's parents, who were doctors and lawyers. We once had that. We got away from it off this bullshit that King gave us, off the dream. Don't you people know when you dream you asleep? That's why they push this bullshit. And in whatever community you go into, Mr. Producer traveled more than I have. But whatever community you go into, Martin Luther King Boulevard is always going to be where, Mr. Producer?
In the hood.
It's going to be in the hood. This is the label, how they label shit. And you all haven't woke up and realized what the fuck is going on. And in closing on this subject matter, I want everybody out here to go Google. This woman that's on, can you bring her back up? Renew, however the hell you say her last name. Like these people come into the United States and they don't contribute a fucking thing to the United States. But one thing they are able to do, they're in bed with the establishment. And a part of being in bed with the establishment, they hate you. Everybody is against you. Everybody. And while your ass out there marching and begging and all that bullshit, don't nothing move but the money. Once again, people, doesn't anything move but the money. And we have to start to realize we have to control the mechanics in our community. That's what we got to do. And until we start to do that, we're going to forever get fucked over out here. That's the whole point. India's president came here to the United States. And you know what the lie that they told? They say, well, it was all about him coming in based upon human rights issues that's going on over the country. We got human rights issue here. A fundamental human right issue is affirmative action. But that's not why he was here. He was here because of BRICS. The United States doesn't have the power that they once had. Because you got Brazil, Russia, India, and South Africa have come up with this thing called BRICS. Y'all go look it up. BRICS. Okay? And they are running opposite to the United States and G7. That's why they were here. And I'm saying this, black people and black and brown people. And this show is just not black and brown. But it tends to be that we are the ones having the problem, the issue. It's time for you all to wake up and realize what is going on around you. And this is why I do not do politics, because politics can't save you. What saves you is building camaraderie with your brothers. And understanding that, and you putting your resources together. Like I said, I'm going to say this in closing. When we go out here and we take the initiative to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, they come in and they burn down our communities. They destroy our communities. And then when we go there and we lobby or we protest for issues to come in with a balancer, then we get people who haven't contributed a fucking thing to society, but have leached off of us, want to come in and the little crumbs that, like Mr. Producer said, we have gotten, they want to take that from you. So it's fuck you at this point. And they really don't give a damn if your kids eat. We're in some trying time, people. And it's high time that you all realize exactly what this is. So I want to encourage everybody out there, this woman that's on here, who's of East Indian descent, she's one of the advocates to overturn affirmative action. Go look her name up. Go see what's going on. I ain't contributed shit. But guess what? Here it is. We want to overturn affirmative action so black folks don't have shit. And let me just say this, because I'm angry at this point. And me and Mr. Producer and my co-host, Dr. Reeves, are working on it. This is what I want you all to know. Most of these people that come in to the United States, right? All of these folks who come in, they say, oh, wow, man, these people come in with with money. That's the biggest lie that has been told. These people come in and they benefit off what you contributed. A lot of these people that you see, that you think that's running these stores, you know what they do? Should I put it out there, Mr. Producer? Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe we should give the people some crumbs.
Yeah, give him a little bit.
Give him a little bit. Okay. All right. He okayed it, so I'm gonna give you a little bit. All right. So this is the business right here, right? What they do is they'll come in, they'll set up a business, either corporate or LLC, right? Once they do this, they go out and they hire themselves. And we're talking about these East Indians that you see around here driving the BMWs and all of these Highline automobiles. I'm finna give you what they do. Something that you don't know that they do. They come in, they set up these businesses, right? They go into the bank. They're using your trust that you don't know you have. But they come in and they get your intangibles. They set up businesses, and what they do is they pay themselves the very minimum, meaning they pay themselves minimum wage. Okay? So they put the business in their name, they put the business in their LLC. The business hire them, okay, at minimum wage. So now, if you're getting minimum wage, then that means you can go get food stamps.
Government assistance.
Government assistance. A lot of them are getting government assistance, food stamps or whatever.
That's why you see all them living in. They get them rundown hotels.
Exactly.
And all of them live there.
Or better yet,
pocket all the money.
Wait a minute, hold on. I know some living in Atlanta and Montgomery, living in $1 million homes, $2 million cars, and getting food stamps and government assistance. Why? Because they're getting government assistance. And they put the cars and the homes in their business name. So what happens? That means there's no SSN number attached to it, so can't nobody come get it. It's a lot of shit that y'all don't know. And when they go into Sam's or Costco or the store, they ask for 2 receipts. Now, these are the people I hear who are telling you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or better yet, I hear fighting you to overturn affirmative action. But I'm wrong about putting this information out. We're coming with that show. So I want everybody to be aware of what this is and what is going on. Yeah, we got the information. We have the information, and we're going to put it out because we want change as well. With that being said, we're going to take another commercial break and come back with our next topic.
While Americans have been distracted by a rich guy who got lost in a submarine, quietly in the shadows, U.S. regulators approved the sale of synthetic lab-grown meat to the American public. This is not a parody. This is not a joke. Let's get into it. In this article from the Associated Press titled, U.S. Approves Nation's First Lab-Grown Meat, Chicken Made from Animal Cells, it talks about how 2 California companies got the approval to sell this shit to us. So I'm thinking to myself, who could be that powerful to convince U.S. regulators to sell us synthetic lab-grown meat? And it's none other than our good buddy, Billy Boy Blue, who's been the primary investor in companies that are trying out different synthetic meats for us to enjoy. He's also one of the majority shareholders in Impossible Meats. So I'm thinking, this guy's just a computer wizard. He's not a nutritionist. He's not a scientist. Could he be after consolidating the food supply? I don't know. But what I do know is that Bill Gates is the largest private farmland owner in the United States. Not Jimbo, who comes from a long line of farmers, a tech billionaire. And you know what he's doing with this land? Nothing. Everything that was once growing on it. America, you should be very, very concerned right now with what is going on in the background while they keep flashing this billionaire who got lost in a submarine for the past few days, nonstop. Do you know that they just caught 123 people on the terrorist watch list trying to cross the border in Mexico? Something big is coming, or else all of the media networks wouldn't have agreed to show us this bullshit while our country is falling apart. text. What do you think about that submarine?
All right.
So, it's a lot of things going on that you are completely unaware of. And what we're doing is, like I say, we're trying to keep everybody aware of things. People, listen, you all have to understand my passion because I went through something back. Initially started in 2018 and ran all the way up to 2021. And it devastated my life. I lost a lot. And I vowed at that point that I was going to do something to make change. And that's why the Chris Miles Show exists. I don't do shit for popularity. I could give a fuck about popularity. Okay? I do things for the fact that it is best to be informed on matters. That's why the Chris Miles Show exists. What we got, Mr. Producer?
Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
Give me something on it.
Hold on. Let me play the video, man.
Yeah, play the video. Come on with the video.
Some people that were talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes.
God damn. Now we got to pay reparations to white folks.
Man, play that shit again, man. Everybody out there watching Chris Miles Show.
Some people that were talking about reparations in this country. They wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes.
God damn, man. They want to cancel affirmative action and we got to pay money.
Wow.
God damn.
So what we have to do, people, this is crazy. So they want to get rid of affirmative action. Okay? And we also have to pay affirmative action. Pay reparation. Back to the people who enslaved, or the descendants who enslaved our ancestors. Now, I'm going to speak to that in just a second. But this is what I want to say. Back here 2 weeks ago, right? No, it's been 3 weeks ago. We had on Charles Miles. Charles Miles came in who supported Donald Trump. Last week we had on this young brother by the name of L. Eastern who supported Donald Trump. There's another female, I don't know why I can't think of her name. She's originally from Montgomery, like I am, who support Donald Trump. Now, why am I talking about Donald Trump, Mr. Producer?
Because Donald Trump gave him the nod.
Donald Trump has endorsed this clown that you see he has endorsed him to run for or to become the governor of the state of North Carolina. Let me go back, reiterate what I said. Donald Trump has endorsed Mark Robinson to be the governor of the state of North Carolina. So I want all of the black folks out here who support Donald Trump to come to the realization of what this is. This is why I say I don't do politics. This man said that the descendants of slaves should have to pay white people reparations. So how many ways can we get shitted on out here? And this is what I want to say to Mark Robinson. All right? Mark Robinson, my lineage goes back to Lowndes County out of Alabama. Okay? My grandmother, my dad's mother, was a slave. Well, let me correct that. My dad's parents were slaves. My grandmother grew up on a plantation. When she got old enough, and how I know the story so well because she told me.
Man, don't be all graphic.
I'm not. My grandmother told me, as she was a little girl, as she got old enough where she started having her cycle, the man that had to own the plantation took my grandmother and took advantage of my grandmother. My grandmother bore a child out. She had a child for the man that owned the plantation. Like this guy was watching my grandmother. My dad's oldest sister, father was white. Because this man raped, or I ain't supposed to say that, am I? It's out there now, but this man took advantage of my grandmother. So this guy here, Donald Trump, has endorsed. Donald Trump has endorsed this man. Fix his mouth to say that I should have to pay the descendants who took advantage of my grandmother reparations.
But my thing be with the black conservatives, all of them kind of kooky with their thought process. I mean, like Candace Owens, she kind of kooky like that. She's smart. I'm not gonna take that away from her. She made valid points when it comes to like conservatives make points of the now time and everyday life, but you can't erase the past because you had to come back. You had to come from something. Everybody else, they get something from whatever they endured. When America dropped the bomb, dropped them nukes, them folks they get
the Chinese, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Money.
And they are the ones that are fighting to overturn affirmative action.
The Jewish people, they get money. America ain't had nothing to do with that German and stuff.
Nothing whatsoever.
But they paying them a stipend every year. But we was kidnapped.
But the people that
was kidnapped, sent over here, our ancestors, and like they just, we ain't kill all y'all, so that's. Y'all should be happy for that.
And we have no option. Like, we can't go anywhere. What you see.
Right, they don't accept us back, so we scattered. We don't know where we supposed to go.
So what I'm saying is, they don't want you to get reparations, right? Which is next week's show. They want to do away with affirmative action. They have the Asian community who got a bill by President Joe Biden, a bill of protection against lunatics out there, okay? And then you get this guy here who Donald Trump has endorsed for governor of the state of North Carolina, saying that we should have to pay reparations to the people who enslaved us. So for me, it's a form of the black conservative always want to ingratiate himself amongst the people that hate you. They understand the hate. They know it. But they got it. These are the talking points to say, okay, then accept me. I'm one of you. I can't. That's something I can't do, man. I can't.
And they know it's just for a money grab, man. They put on a little face. They say all this kooky, corny stuff. They know it's for a money grab.
But this is the thing, Mr. Producer. My thing is, you got to lay down at night. How do you sleep at night with that type of mentality?
On $1,000 pillows, on a silk pillowcase.
So I shit on you. I shit on my people just so I can sleep good. Is that where we at?
Man, it's capitalism, baby.
This is really sad, man. Like this dude, man, like I said, I really wish, and you know what? The next person that comes on the Chris Miles show that is a Donald Trump supporter, this video will be in your face. This video is going to be in your face. We're going to keep this video. And this matter, this topic of conversation is most definitely coming back up. All right? We're going to take another break. I really need, I need me a drink after this one, man. I'm serious, man. I mean, the temerity of this guy, man. Like, to even, so I guess, let me just say that, I guess he also should pay reparations.
Hey, yeah, you're right. Candace Owens.
The
Hard's twin.
The Hard, yeah, shit. So if I got to cut the check, they should have to cut the check too.
Oh yeah. That's a good question, man. We need to find his Twitter handle.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody, all you black folks out there, this guy here says that we need to cut the check. So we need to cut the check to the people who fucked over us. And with that being said, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're coming back with our next topic.
You wanna keep yourself from me. When I feel like I feel, sometimes it's hard to tell you so. You may not be in the mood to learn what you think you know. And there are times when I find you wanna keep yourself from me. When I don't have the strength, I'm just a mirror of what I see. Yeah. But at your best, you are alone. You're a positive, motivating force within my life. Should you ever feel the need to wonder why, let me know. Let me know. Oh, no, no. Let me know.
We're back. We are back. So everybody has been captivated by the story of the Ocean Gate, the Titan submersible. I really don't care on what side you're on. I think all parties involved. It was tragic. I hate it happened, but I think it sets a precedent of how people who live above the means of so many things that are that we consider normal will make bad decisions in life. What we see happen was tragic and a very bad way to die. This guy, Stockton Rush, said that he defied the odds, and I'm paraphrasing at this point, quoting but paraphrasing. He said that he went against the grain of the things that people said he shouldn't do and couldn't do, and he did it.
He broke a lot of rules.
He broke the rules
to make it work.
And let me see if I can pull this up. I don't like paraphrasing stuff like this. I really want to get it. I want to get it right. Something you want to say on it?
No, I want to play something Rose said though, man. While you doing that, I'm gonna play this. Y'all forgive me.
Can I say this? Can I please say this? And no, I am not a seologist. But can I say this? If for some reason you talk rose into going underwater, it's no way I'm going deeper than the whales. It's no way I'm going deeper than the whales in this rose now, and I'm a big fish. You can't get me to do that.
I agree. I mean, shit, he's on point. But okay, so I have the quote. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me, Rush said in an interview. It's picking the rules that you break that are the ones that will add value to others and add value to society. And that's really to me about innovation. So that's Stockton Rush, the guy, the owner of Ocean Gate, and the guy that came up with the ideal and the theory of the Titan submersible. We have a video in a second Mr. Producer is going to play, but I want to elaborate over this for a minute. So 5 adventurous individuals thought it would be a great idea to go down to see the Titanic. The guy that produced the movie, The Titanic, was it James Cameron? Is that his name?
Yep.
James Cameron and other people came out, and this is the thing that really bothers me about the subject matter. James Cameron now comes out and they say, oh, well, it was such a bad idea, and, you know, he shouldn't have did what he did, and, you know, all of this other stuff was going on, and, you know, but why this stuff, the conversation of what you see going on now taking place on all of the talking heads on the news station, why this information didn't initially come out? Because that way you potentially could have saved 5 lives. Now 5 lives are gone, and the family members have to deal with the horrors of bad decision. Now, what's really bad about it is that these guys sign, what is it called? It'll lose me.
A waiver.
They sign waivers because this guy, Stockton Rush, knew there was a great potential for them dying in this situation.
I don't think
horrible ordeal.
I don't think that he thought that they was gonna die, but some of the stuff that he did, like he was telling me, he took a lot of safety devices off. A submersible, you can't come back up. Something has to be there to pull you back up. So I don't know. I think it could have been avoided. It could have been the trip could have been a little safer.
Well, you know, like Rose said, I mean,
I ain't going deeper than the whales.
I'm not even going that deep.
I'm not going deeper than the whales.
You know what I'm saying? I don't. Swimming pool is enough for me. For me, it's bad, man. I mean, and then, Mr. Producer, you said that the people in the news knew they were lying about you. You told me.
Yeah, man. I was reading. I was watching a little report. They said, I want to say the Canadian Navy, but one of them folks
it
out
was
there,
France. They said something from France.
They knew the day they went down that thing exploded. So they said it went down Sunday. When they got so deep, it popped. It popped that day. So I guess when they started covering it Tuesday or whatever, when they started looking for them and they came back up, they had already knew. They already knew.
So why didn't they just come out and say, listen, man, these folks are dead, man?
Man, because...
So what I'm saying is,
if you ask me, shit, because one of them a billionaire, he worked for a lot of money. So
all of them on there had money.
Well, I'm just saying,
two of them on there were billionaires.
They had to do their due diligence. you know what I'm saying? They had to use some resources to at least try to recover them 4 bodies. Shit, they had to do something.
So this is the thing that gets me, right? So you cap off. You got 60,000. You got 60,000 homeless vets in the United States. Okay. You cap off $250,000 to go to your death. Like, what sense does that make?
And it was like going to Six Flags for them, man. That's what that was like, man. But I mean, I'm saying when you get in that tax bracket, man, you a billionaire, man. You feel like you untouchable.
Well, I guess they found out they were touchable. Yeah. And I'm not making fun of the matter because it's no laughing matter. But I'm saying, man, that was a dumbass decision, man. And
they should have vetted the guy a little bit more because he was real arrogant about, you know, he just knew his shit was going to work.
God says
you going that deep, that amount of pressure.
And a hot water heater, man.
You got to go down there and some steel, man.
Man, listen, man. The dude is using.
On how that thing blows.
Hold on before you do that. The guy's using proxy material. Carbon fiber. A lot of these cars, the McLaren, the Ferrari, it's made out of carbon fiber. This guy, all it needs is a tear in the material. And that within itself is going to give you the implosion. That shit is dumb, man. Like
he should have built the spaceship, not no subliminal.
Submersible. Shit, man. I'm like, man.
Hot water tank.
A hot water tank, a hot water heater, the size of a minivan. Like you can't even. They had they said that there were bottles in there, little portable toilet, whatever, in there. And then let me tell you what was the shit that did it for me. Well, I wouldn't even got in it on ground. They say when you get into it, there's 13 or 14 boats? 17 boats that they tighten it with. You can only get out. Man, we don't do shit like that, man. I'm sorry. We ain't finna do it. You ain't finna talk me into it. I got a friend of mine got his pilot license. He told me, man, come on, man, you out your goddamn mind. I'm not getting on shit that you flying.
Man, you want to fly with Lil Duval, man?
Man, I ain't flying with nobody, man. I get on airplane. I like to fly.
Lil Duval,
but I am not finna get on no dust cropter with somebody I grew up with. Man, no, that's over with. He over with at this point. I love him, but you ain't finna talk. It could be $1 million at the end of that goddamn flight, but I'll never go get it.
Dang.
And I'm saying all of that to simply say this, man. Like, this shit was the shit people, man, you all got to think about this stuff, man. Like when, listen, let me say this in closing. I was in a bad car accident. Like the car I was in, got airborne. It hit a pole. Okay? I'm sitting there watching it, looking at the pole as a car in the air. Like, I'm grappling with the steering wheel. Like, man, I'm finna hit this pole. You know what I'm saying? So, and the impact from the shit was so severe that it broke my leg. And the shit pushed down on my foot and crushed the foot. Okay? So, I'm saying all of that, people, because it's dangerous enough. It's dangerous enough out here, things that we do, okay? Just moving around in cars. And then the other part of that is you got people in society that don't know how to act. So you have all of these various components that you deal with on a regular, every day. And you turn around and you go get in a submersible with 17 boats where they've locked you in this shit, and you going down to see the Titanic. And unfortunately, it implodes. Mr. Producer, play that video, man.
POV if you're wondering what an implosion looks like. This is an example. POV if you're wondering what an implosion looks like, this is an example.
Man.
Who is it? So people, that's what an implosion looks like. So the one that had the looked like the one that they were in, the pressure from the inside of it crushed them, correct?
Man, balled him up like a drink can.
So, Mr. Producer, what depths did it get to before it imploded? Did it say? Does it say?
They ain't say.
Wow.
But
what a sad way to go out. Well, anyway, people, our condolences to them and their family members from the Chris Miles show.
Yo.
And I think that for Ocean Gate that it's over for them. Like, this is not going to go well for them. I don't think anybody be getting on any submersibles at this point, no time soon. Unfortunate situation. We are going to take another break, and we're going to come back with our topic. We do have a guest. Lee McCall is coming up here momentarily, so we want everybody to hang out for that. It's toward the end of the show, and we'll be back. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Y'all, hold on.
If it's hot and you need some air, and you need it done at a price that's fair, drop the Addy right now, we'll meet you there. We your breath of fresh air, Mr. Air Repair. If it's hot and you need some air, and you need it done at a price that's fair, drop the Addy right now, we'll meet you there. We your breath of fresh air, Mr. Air Repair. For quality air at a price that's fair, call Mr. Air Repair. Drop the Addy and we there. We gon' get the AC going, get the AC blowing. When the air get the flowing, you gon' think that it was snowing. Wild ranch installation, upstairs to the basement. We do everything from hard work to the basic. All you gotta do is call that number, quit waiting. Man, this air so cold, it's guaranteed to have you shake. It's cold. If it's hot and you need some air, and you need it done at a price that's fair, drop the Addy right now, we'll meet you there. We your breath of fresh air, Mr. Air Repair. Hey, for quality air at a price that's fair, call Mr. Air Repair, man. Call him right now at 586-262-4258 and follow him on Instagram and tell him G-Max.
To my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, I want to give all the honor and glory to him, because you cannot orchestrate all the things that took place today, and for it to go down the way it did, hey, it had to be someone looking over it. Second, my hat's off to those fine young men that went out there, that gave their all, and I preached to them all week. I preached 3 things to them. I said, 1, take up your cross. 2, be a vessel. Let the Lord use you. Number 3, be a light. Inspire somebody. And they did, without a shadow of a doubt, they did all 3. And I said, hey, it's not who we play, it's how we play. And them guys showed up for 60 minutes, and I cannot, I'm lost for words right now, man. I'm as happy as a pig on Sunday.
Chicken powder.
Hey, can you hear us? Lee, hello? Got a volume on.
Miss McCall, are you there?
Since she in the box, but can't. I got a volume on. Miss McCall.
We might have to do this. Alternative is the caller.
Yeah, just call it.
And hold on, let me send you this. Y'all bear with me. We have what the problem is, but so what I'm gonna do is so what we're gonna do is you just bring her face up on the picture up, and then
show me a picture.
It's showing like a cookie button.
that's okay. We'll just producer's gonna put your can you hear?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear producer?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we apologize, people. We were trying to bring up in the box. So how you doing, Miss McCall? Are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. So welcome to the Chris Miles Show. You and I had we talked off of the program, and you were telling me about you had a situation that that happened to you and your family, and it involves a matter of something that happened down in Montgomery, Alabama, correct? Or am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yes, yes, sir.
So are you able to bring her?
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay, so I'm sorry, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell your story. First and foremost, how are you doing today? Everything is going okay for you?
I'm doing great today.
That's good. That's good. Well, once again, welcome to the program, and I thank you so much for reaching out to us. And we want to give you an opportunity to tell your story. This is an international show. We are streaming live through various sources, and also through Spotify, Apple, and all of your podcast carriers. But anyway, that being said, I'm going to give you the floor and let you introduce yourself and basically tell what has been the problem or what's been going on that you need to talk about.
Well, my name is Chantrice Lee, and I was staying in a home in Montgomery, Alabama at 3134 Meadow Lane. And I was renting from two Indian guys Sundep Guva and Swami Ara.
Hold on a second. Hold on, slow down for a second. So, you were renting from some East Indians?
I don't know what.
Yeah. Okay. So give me the name again.
Sundep Guva and Swami Ara.
Yeah, they're East Indians. Go ahead.
When I first rented the home was failed. It was failed twice by a guy that a lot of people in Montgomery don't like because he failed these homes and he tell them that, these homes cannot be passed. So the third time, they sent a Caucasian female. I don't know her name. When she inspected the home, she said that she was going to go ahead and pass the home. Okay, from July of 2021 all the way up until January of 2022, we had no problems. I received a note on my door from this company called Vinebrook Homes, LLC, out of Dayton, Ohio. Okay, I spoke with a lady by the name of Rhonda Harris Brown. She ended up setting up this portal for me to pay my rent online. After she set the portal up, she blocked me. So my rent continued to pile up. In the process of my ceiling collapsed on me because my AC unit, my ventilation system is in the ceiling.
So hold on, is it an old home? Was it?
The home is in Ellsmead.
Ellsmead, where is that at?
Off of Woodley Road.
Okay, so that is I'm assuming the black community, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go right ahead. I'm sorry.
After that, I called it city inspections, and the city inspections came out. Well, they played as if they were city inspections. So I called city inspections. They told me that a guy visited my home earlier that day. He did not. So I asked to be transferred over to this guy. This guy told me that he hadn't even been to my side of town that day. And a guy was sent out the next day, the following day. He looked and inspected the home. He gave Vinebrook Home 60 days to come back out to fix my home. When the 60 days was up, Montgomery City Inspections did not come back out to check on me and my family. That was July of 2022. So they collected money from me, and they took the last payment that was on my account in August, which was $300 and something. So I only owed $300 and some more to make my August payment. They after they took that payment, they blocked me. So from August to December, they just kept putting eviction notice after eviction notice, but I'm blocked. I cannot pay my rent. So every time I would try to even go, get a job, they would send the maintenance guy just random pop-ups and that stuff of that nature. So December, I received a eviction notice from court. Ms. Rhonda Harris Brown is the one that filed the eviction notice. So I started taking evidence down to court to, say that, okay, well, I don't owe this because I was blocked. They kept blocking me. Every time my rent would be paid, they'll collect the last little bit of money and they'll block me. So I'm guessing, January the 27th, 2023 was supposed to be January the 26th, 2023 was supposed to be our court date. I filed a countersuit against them for asking for money and possession of the home, which is I wanted the deed of the home. And they backed out of court. They dismissed it the day before court. So I'm sitting in court. Ms. Tiffany D. McCord, which was our judge, and she told me, well, they dismissed your court, they dismissed your case. So I went across the street and had to file all of this paperwork over again. After that, From 2 weeks after that, they put another eviction notice on my door, telling me that they wasn't going to rent for me. So I received a email from Vinebrook Homes, and they told, this was on April the 20th. They were telling me that they were coming out to put a lockbox on my home, so when I do move, I would be able to return the key. After that, April the 21st, 2023, Mr. Andre Stephens came to my home after I was gone. My oldest daughter observed him talking to Mr. Daryl Hydell. I also spoke with Mr. Agent Stephens off of my daughter's messenger and told him and asked him why did he put a lockbox on the side door when it was already a lockbox on the front door. In the state of Alabama, a landlord has to give you 2 days in advance notice before they come into your home. So after that Monday morning, I was listening to audio on my camera because I always keep cameras around my home because I never trusted, Vinebrook Homes from the get-go because they always tried to put me out and tried to get me to move.
Now, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. So, if you've had these kind of problems dealing with these people that you were renting from, why didn't you just take the initiative to move somewhere else and just try to avoid all of these things? I mean, you have kids, correct? So, I mean...
Yes, because it was a great home. I mean, it's in a quiet neighborhood. Don't get me wrong, Elmsmead, I don't hear gunshots and stuff within the neighborhood. You don't have people trying to break in your home. We have a community watch lady. I stayed like 2-3 doors down from her. It's a lot of older people stay there.
Let me say this, Ms. McCall. I get all of that. Okay, I'm not playing devil's advocate here. What I'm saying is I get all of that about the good things on the community. The things that made you feel comfortable and safe. But what I'm saying is, for you, a young woman to go through these things and have to experience this, and I understand that if whatever you were dealing with might not have been what you wanted to be dealing with at the time. But what I'm saying is, it's so unfair to you and your family to have to deal with this, and then you are trying to get some form of help and make these people be accountable for this, and it's not going right. I'm just, But anyway, go right ahead and finish.
I'm saying, man, it's hard to just up and move. You know what I'm saying? You don't think you paying somebody money.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? You paying somebody money. You expect for them, you know what I'm saying, to honor it.
Right, exactly.
Not try to fuck you over, but I mean, I understand why you don't just up and move.
But go right ahead. Go right ahead, sis. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
So after I observed my cameras and stuff, I heard Mr. Andre Stephens make a statement of he hates to be the one to kidnap my kids. And when he made that statement, I took it that Monday the courts were closed. So I took that information down to Montgomery County Court System the next day.
So wait a minute, hold on a second. So you're telling me that now who is this guy, Andre Stephens? Is that what you said?
He's a maintenance guy for Vinebrook Homes.
Okay. So he makes a statement that he would hate to be the one to kidnap your kids. Okay, so this is what I want to ask you. You say you carried it down to the housing people. Why didn't you call the police?
I carried it to the Montgomery County Court System.
Okay, so did you call the police?
I tried to get a supervisor out to my home. Every time I call the police on situations that I was having, I never got anywhere.
So hold on. So you call. Hold on a second. Work with me. You call Montgomery Police Department, and nobody came out to document someone making a threat of kidnapping your kids. Is that what you're saying on the Chris Marshall on the record? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So continue.
Okay, after that, Ms. Tiffany B. McCord called for immediate hearing that would make it April the 27th, 2023. So after that, she restricted Mr. Andre Stephens from coming out to the home. So they filed a motion that Ms. Tiffany B. McCord did not have jurisdiction to do that, things of that nature. So after that, we went back to court May 18th, 2023. She listed the restrictions of him coming out to the home. So she asked the lawyer to hear the audio. And at that time, Michael F. Braun is supposed to be Vinebrook Home's lawyer. Not one time did Michael F. Braun show up for Vinebrook. It was always a lawyer by the name of Beverly Howard. This lady is also under investigation. Well, she was under investigation for lying in DHR cases, getting kids to lie on their parents. So Ms. Howard and Ms. Peyton Falk, Executive Director of Legal Services, and Ms. Tiffany B. McCord went to the back of the court to listen to the audio. When they returned, Ms. Tiffany B. McCord lifted those restrictions. Ms. Peyton Falk took me, my husband, and my oldest daughter to the back of the courtroom in another room. She told me the best thing for me was to leave Montgomery. She also made statements of, did I know that the judge was a diehard Alabama State fan? So
hold on a second. Hold on. So who made reference to you should leave the city of Montgomery? Who said that?
Ms. Peyton Falk, the Executive Director of Legal Services.
So why would she tell you should leave Montgomery?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of.
Now this is the other thing I want to ask you. Like, do you have the audio of the guy making the threats to kidnap your kids?
Yes, I do.
You have that audio?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you do have that audio. All right. All right. So a part of this is you also have the person who told you should leave Montgomery. Now, should that be taken as a threat or what? Because the reason I'm asking, hold on, work with me. The reason I'm asking these questions is this seems a lot deeper than a damaged home. And if this is the case, then you have the evidence to get to take it higher than it being on a local situation. You understand what I'm saying? Because first of all, no one should be making any type of threats against kids. I think that's a federal matter, isn't it? That's a federal matter. The other thing is, and then this is what you should do. If somebody has made these threats against your child, you should immediately contact the FBI.
I contacted them.
Oh, and what was said?
They're looking into it.
Okay, all right. So, the other thing is too, with people telling you to leave, and are you originally from Montgomery or what?
I'm from Prattville, Alabama.
You're from Prattville. So you have your roots is in Prattville.
I have family in Montgomery also.
Okay, all right. So what I'm saying is this, Ms. McCall. I mean, I think safety trumps everything else. I mean, I understand that you're comfortable in the neighborhood that you're in, but you did say that you are renting or leasing. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Me personally, and Mr. Producer, and I agree. I mean, it's a lot of times it's not easy to just up and move. A lot of times, I mean, I don't know your credit situation or whatever, but these people want to run credit. They want to do this. They want to do that, and it complicates matters. I totally, thoroughly understand that. But what I'm saying is that this here becomes a point where it's troublesome for you and your family. Who have you talked to outside of the people that you're dealing with for help in this situation?
Nobody really. I have nobody to talk to.
So what about
The only thing I'm doing is filing appeals and doing the best I can.
So, hold on. Take that for me. Go in there and talk to him. This is what I'm saying. I myself think that you should seek help outside of the area that you are, for that matter. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's. I hate to hear this, that you're going through that. You understand what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is that you have to do something. And let me ask you this: what are they saying about fixing the house? I mean, are they going to fix the house? They want you out. What? I mean,
Since June 8th, 2023, because we're supposed to have trial date, and that's when Tiffany B. McCord is supposed to have revisited the kidnapping situation. She still ruled in the defendant's favor, which is Linebrook home. After she lifted the restrictions of the maintenance guy, I have left the home. I'm not in a home where, it's big enough for me and my kids. To remind you, I have 5 children. We're in a mobile home. It's only 3 bedrooms in that home. I have 4 bedrooms. It's just hard.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, the place you're in now, you said it's a mobile home, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So, how long are you in a 3-month, 6-month, year lease, or what? What is it? Not trying to get in your business. Or is it month to month?
I haven't even signed the lease to this mobile home because we were so in a rush to move out. I gave the guy the deposit for the home, and it already needed work to it. And the guy was supposed to have surgery, and after surgery, he was supposed to fix the home. I have things where he wrote out saying that he was supposed to fix it. So I'm back in another situation where I can't even get anybody to fix nothing.
So you did say you were married, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so what part is your husband playing in this ordeal?
He listens to what I say. He gives his opinion. He tries to, like if we're in a situation where stuff needs to be fixed or whatever, he'll try to fix it. But like I tell him, that's not your job to fix it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk with you off of the air, okay? I'm going to see if are you all. So basically, are you comfortable where you are now, or are you still looking for a place to stay? We're still looking for a place to stay.
Okay.
To be comfortable, for
Okay.
our kids to be comfortable.
Okay, all right.
Basically all about the kids.
That's what I needed to know. Okay, all right. So I do know people in real estate, and we are going to check on some things. I will talk with you off of the air, off of this show, And I'm going to make some calls on your behalf. Mr. Producer, you listening, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we actually, me and this guy here, we have some property or whatever, but we're going to check with some people off the air, and we are going to get back with you within possibly 48 hours, and we're going to see if we can get you another place to stay, at least to alleviate that problem that you are dealing with right now, pertaining to the matter of, you being in a situation that's not necessarily conducive for you and your family. I'm sorry you're going through that. It should not be. You should not be going through those things just to, have a play. And this is one of the other things that we were talking about earlier. As I was just talking about we were talking about the affirmative action situation. Here it is. You were renting a home from some East Indians who has infiltrated the black community, who owns property in the black community. And they're not even willing to fix the house. The house is falling in on this young sister. The house is falling in on her. They won't fix the house, and they go to the Supreme Court and they want to do away with affirmative action because they can't get into Yale or they can't get into Harvard, and they feel as if black people are keeping them from doing this. But they come into our community, the communities that we live in, they buy up the property and they don't fix it. And then when you go to the court is supposed to be there as to be the balancer through all of this, and you can't even get the proper action that you need in the court system. You got anything you want to say, Mr. Producer?
No, man, it's just a pretty sad situation, but we're gonna do everything we can to try to help out and get you in a better living situation.
So let me just say this: would you all be willing to potentially, I say potentially, but maybe move into an apartment?
I have so much stuff. I have a lot of stuff, like as far as like my kids' stuff. I would have to put like a lot of stuff into storage.
So a house would be the only way for you to go at this point, basically.
I mean, anything is, is doable. I mean, because I like trampolines and stuff of that nature, I can break down and put into storage.
Let me ask you this. What about Prattville? Why not just go back to Prattville?
Basically, the market of housing is high there. I have found places in Prattville, but they're not done. I had a couple people saying that they were going to reach back out to me at the end of July when the house got done, but no one else has called.
Okay, all right. All right, so this is what we'll do here on the Chris Miles Show. We are going to make some calls. I'll be in contact with you within the next 48 hours. And now, I can't help you out on the court matter. Okay, I mean, so that's not my expertise. It's not something that I'm willing to get involved with. What I am willing to get involved with is to try to help you get you relocated to an area where you are not going through what you're going through. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you want to say, before we close on this situation?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, I completely sympathize with you. God knows I do. I'm sorry you're going through this. Keep your head up. You have my number. You can call me. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to make some phone calls and see what part we can play in the matter. And Just see, if we can make a difference. And this is, let me just say this. This is what people need to be aware of. Like, these people, a lot of people will come in and they buy property. I got property myself. I get phone calls every day. Hey, you want to sell property? And I'll tell them, like, look here, I got a call last week out of some company out of, somebody called me out of Michigan, somebody called me out of California. And they said, oh, you want to, I see you got property, so you want to sell it? Yeah, I sell it for $1.2 million. And they hang the phone up. Yeah. So when they call me asking me dumb shit about you sell, yeah, I sell it for $1.2 million. How bad you want it? That's the price. That's my offer. You want to buy it? I sell it for $1 million. And they hang the phone up. And this is one of the things that I know a lot of kids do. People, as parents get old, they die out, and a lot of time people don't necessarily pay their taxes. So these people are going in, they go to probate, they check to see who's paid and who has not, and all of this other stuff, and they just basically take it, which is one of the reasons, Mr. Producer, I wanted to talk about credit, but we'll pick it up. Because this is what I'm saying. People don't know the power that they have, but people are getting messed over because out of ignorance. And I'm not calling you that, sis, but what I am saying is that this is the whole thing of what people don't understand what is going on out here in society. How these people manipulate you, and you have the intangibles not to be in that situation. You just don't know you have them. We're going to bring it out. Ms. McCall, thank you. You're welcome to come back at any time. Hopefully, we'll try to get you back here in maybe a couple of weeks. Hopefully, we can get everything situated with you. You can come back on and let everybody know that you are in you've been relocated to a better situation. I promise you we're going to make phone calls, okay? And see what we can do. So y'all hold on, and, we'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers on that. Hey, tell your guy, man, listen, man, you got to step up. You all should not be going through this. I'm not saying that he has not. I'm sure everybody is doing their part. And me and Mr. Producer was just talking about this the other day. It's really sad, people, everybody out there that's watching the Chris Miles show. People out here working hard, busting their ass every day, man, to keep food on the table, to make an honest living, and they're working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and maybe sometime more than that. And they can't put their hands on the basic essentials for their family. Like, they had a matter to come up. Most people out there working 9 to 5s cannot put their hands on $1,000 to take care of a matter pertaining with themselves or their family. Am I lying about that, Mr. Producer?
No, you're correct.
So this is what I'm saying, people. But anyway, Miss McCall, I'm going to give you the last word. If you got anything you want to say, I'll let you say it, and we will pick back up with you in a couple of weeks on this matter. But go ahead.
No, I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. All right. Well, I will call you off the air, and we will see what we can do to help and assist. Okay. And I want to thank you for coming on. And that is Chantrice Lee McCall, and she's had a bad situation with what we were talking about earlier in the show. And the sad part is she says she's reached out to law enforcement and no one has come to her aid, which is really bad. Well, anyway, people, we're going to get out of here. We hope you all enjoyed watching the Chris Miles show today. Several people canceled for different reasons. The co-host had a family matter, so she couldn't be here today. But we pray that we'll be here next week, same time, and we can enlighten you, entertain you, and educate you all in one bundle. It's been fun, as always. Everybody be safe, take care of yourself, and as I always say, The Moving Finger Rights has written, moves on. Everybody, take care. God bless.